Hey guys, welcome back. So in my previous video we talked about some of the beginner level and the fundamental skills required to become a data engineer. If you haven't watched that video, then you can click link over here and watch it. In this video we will talk about some of the intermediate skills required to become a data engineer. So let's get started. Once you get your computer science fundamentals clear, then it's time to learn big data fundamentals. Let's understand what defines a big data. To understand big data, you need to learn about 5 V's of big data: volume, velocity, variety, veracity, and value. Big data volume defines the amount of data that is produced. The value of the data is also dependent on the size of the data. Velocity refers to the speed at which data is gathered, collected, and analyzed. Data continuously flows through multiple channels such as computer systems, networks, social media, mobile phone, etc. While the volume and the velocity of data are important factors that adds value to the business, big data also need to process diverse data types collected from various sources. The veracity of big data, or validity as it is commonly known, is the assurance of quality or the credibility of the data. Can you trust the data that you have collected? Is this data credible enough to glean insight from? Should we be biasing our business decisions on the insight gathered from this data? Although data is being produced in large volumes today, just collecting the data has no use. Instead, data that adds value to the business is more important. In the context of big data, value amounts to how worthy the data is from positively impacting a company's business. Once you understand the big data, then you need to start learning about difference between vertical and horizontal scaling, then difference between scaling up and scaling out. What is ETL pipeline? ETL stands for extract, transform, load. These are some of the terminologies you will be hearing a lot when you are working with the data and servers. With this, you will also need to learn about types of data such as structured, unstructured, and semi-structured, and learn how to work with different file formats such as CSV, JSON, Avro, Parquet, ORC. Once you get your big data fundamentals clear, then you need to start learning about cluster computing. Processing big data on a simple computer is next to impossible. If you try to process one single file on a single computer, then it will take forever. But if you divide that work into multiple computers and combine the result, then it will be much faster. Most modern processing data frameworks are based on Apache Hadoop and MapReduce to some extent. Understanding this concept can help you to learn more about modern frameworks. So learn what is Hadoop ecosystem. It has so many components such as HDFS, MapReduce, Yarn, Pig, Hive, HBase, and many more. So understand how Hadoop ecosystem works and how it processes the data. After learning Hadoop, you also need to learn about one of the most important data processing framework, which is Apache Spark. As Hadoop, Apache Spark has its own ecosystem that includes Spark Core, streaming, SQL, MLlib, etc. You will also need to understand what is the difference between Hadoop and Spark. Eighth is learning about data processing. Processing is required because your data is in raw format and stored at different locations. So you need to get those data from different locations and bring it on one place. Now there are 3 types of data processing. Batch processing, which basically means you process data in large quantity and at certain frequency. Let's say 3 times a day or every day at 9 am. Stream processing, this means processing data in real time or near real time. For example, Google Maps. And the third is hybrid processing. As the name says, it is a combination of both batch and streaming. After processing the data, you need to store that data somewhere. And the most of the time you will be storing your data in data warehouse. What is data warehouse? Data warehouse is large collection of business data used to help organization to make decision. There are 2 types of processing system, OLTP and OLAP, online transaction processing and online analytical processing. OLTP is used for different transactions such as system that needs quick insert, update, delete. Example, on e-commerce website, when you make an order, it needs to be written quickly and updated. On the other hand, OLAP is used for analyzing data and extracting value out of it. These systems are capable of handling large amount of reads from the databases. For example, if you have 2-3 years of customer data, then you can query them and understand customer behavior. You'll also need to learn about basic data warehouse concept, understand the difference between OLAP and OLTP, what are dimension tables and fact tables, then schema design such as star schema and snowflake schema. These are some of the data warehouses available in the market: Snowflake, Apache Hive, Google BigQuery, Amazon Redshift, etc. Now let's talk about some of the data exploration and transformation libraries. These are some of the widely used Python libraries used for data exploration and transformation. Data transformation means you have data in some raw format, then you apply some business logic on top of it so you can get some insight out of it. Here is the list of Python libraries you need to learn: Pandas, NumPy and Matplotlib. Now let's talk about data orchestration. Most of the time when you are working as a data engineer, your main job will be to schedule some transformation job on daily or weekly basis. Let's take the example of e-commerce company again. You are a data engineer in that company and everyday stakeholders of that company wants to see how many products were shipped yesterday and how many were delivered. Now the data is stored in our OLTP or transaction system. For ease of understanding, it is currently stored in MySQL database. You will have to transform this data and store it in data warehouse and run business logic on top of it to get required information such as order count, ship count, etc. Here is where data orchestration tools such as Airflow comes into the picture. The process of extracting data from transaction system, applying transformation and storing it into data warehouse can be easily automated using tools such as Airflow. You can do a lot of things using Airflow and there are many alternatives available in the market too. You just need to learn one tool and you will get clear understanding about these tools. We talked about relational databases in our last video. So now let's talk about NoSQL databases. As relational databases stores data into proper tabular structure, NoSQL databases stores data in different structure. NoSQL databases come in variety of type based on the data models. The main types are document, key value, white column and graph. They provide flexible schema and scale easily. Relational databases cannot be used in every application. For example, if you have to keep changing table schema, then it is really difficult to do in relational database. But in NoSQL database, you can do this easily. These are some of the NoSQL databases available in the market: HBase, Cassandra, MongoDB, AWS DynamoDB, etc. Now let's talk about message queue and streaming services. Most of us use Google Maps or cab services such as Uber and Ola that provides real-time information related to location. These things can be achieved using streaming services. These are some of the tools and services used in real-time data processing: Apache Kafka, GCP PubSub, AWS Kinesis, etc. There are many cases when business want real-time information about how things are performing. For example, if I want to track my subscriber in real time on YouTube, then I can do that easily because YouTube provides that functionality. Same way, you might have some requirements where user want to see some information in real time, then you can use these streaming services to achieve it. Till now we only talked about how to process, extract and transform data, but if we cannot gain insight from that particular data, then it has no use. That's when the visualization and dashboard comes into the picture. As I said earlier, the goal of any data person is to extract value from the data and help business to improve its day-to-day life cycle. And one of the best way to understand data is by converting numbers into visual form. That is by making graph and charts which tells a story. These are some of the visualization tools available in the market. For example, QuickSight, Looker, Tableau, Data Studio, etc. Ability to convert data into proper story and extracting value out of it is one of the most important skill of a data engineer. These skills are enough to get you a job or an internship in any company. You don't need to learn about each and every service and tool, you just need to get your fundamentals clear. In the next video, we will talk about some of the advanced level skills for data engineers. If you learned something new from this video, then don't forget to share it with your friends. If you like my work and want to support it, then you can subscribe to this channel and like the video. That will push YouTube algorithm to recommend this content to more and more people. Thank you.